Welcome to Eureka Math. I'm Mr. Shankel. I'm going to be helping you today with Module 4, Lesson 29. Let's get started. All right, example 1 gives us a couple of situations here we can write equations for to create a system and then solve the system. So let's see if we can do that. The sum of two numbers is 361. So I'm going to say the first number is x, plus the second number we'll call y, and when we add those together we get 361. So that's the first equation. And then the difference between the two numbers is 173. So x minus y equals 173. All right, and so there's our system. And I could see right now that I have a positive y and a negative y. Those will combine to eliminate, so I like that. So I'm just going to combine these, and that means that the y's will cancel. I'll have 1x plus 1x, that's 2x, equals 361 plus 173. Let's see, what is that? That's a 4 and a 3 and a 5, 534. So 2x is equal to 534. Then I can multiply by the reciprocal of 2. And so what I'm looking for is the what's half of 534? Well, that's 267. 534 divided by 2, 267. So x is 267. Then I can plug that back into either one of my equations. I'll use that one. X is 267 plus y equals 361. And then I'll just subtract 267 from both sides to isolate the y. That goes away. I get y is equal to, and when we subtract, let's do some borrowing. This is a 5 and a 1. Oops, that's 11. So 11 minus 7 is 4, and then this would be a 9. So y equals 94. So our ordered pair is 267 is the x value, 94 is the y value, and that is the solution to this problem. What are the two numbers? 267 and 94. All right, let's look at example 2. There are 356 8th grade students at Euclid Middle School. 34 more than 4 times the number of girls is equal to half the number of boys. How many boys are in the 8th grade at Euclid's Middle School, and how many girls? Okay, so we're going to need two variables. One will stand for boys and one will stand for girls. So let's say that well, the first thing we can say is if x is the number of boys, x equals boys, and y equals girls, then we can say that the number of boys plus the number of girls is equal to 356. Okay, that's the first equation. And then we do have another equation here. It's a little bit complicated. 34 more than 4 times the number of girls. Well, let's break that down. 4 times the number of girls, and then 34 more than that, so that's a plus 34, that means equals 1/2 the number of boys. 1/2 of the number of boys is x. So that's not great, but we can work with that. We can put this in the same form, a standard form. So let's subtract 1/2 x from both sides, and that gives us a negative 1/2 x plus 4y plus 34 equals 0. And then let's subtract 34 to get that on the other side of the equal sign. So that our new equation is this: negative 1/2 x plus 4y is equal to negative 34. So there's our system. That's our system. And then we can go about trying to solve that system. So let's make some space here. We don't need this work anymore. And let's see if we can solve this system. Well, that looks like elimination would be a nice way to go here. So Let's see. If I multiply this bottom equation by 2, that will give me a negative 2 over 2. That's a negative 1x. And then the x's will eliminate. So I'm going to multiply by a positive 2. 2 times a negative 1/2 is a negative 2 over 2. That's a negative x. And then 2 times 4y, that's a positive 8y. And then 2 times a negative 34 is a negative 68. Okay, so this equation is gone. And now I can combine. So I'm gonna smash these two equations together. A positive x and a negative x, well, those cancel out. They eliminate. That's what we wanted. 1y plus 8y, that's 9y, is equal to 356 minus 68. Okay, that's a positive 288. And then I can multiply by reciprocal. And if we do that to both sides to balance the equation, the 9's cancel. We get y is equal to 288 over 9. So 288 divided by 9. And that is 32. So y is equal to 32. And then I can use either equation. I'm going to use that nice easy one right there to calculate for my x. So x plus y, which we said was 32, is equal to 356. And now we can subtract 32 from both sides. That gives us x is equal to, and when we subtract here, we get 324. So the number of boys is 324. That's our x value. And the number of girls is 32. That is our y value. All right, let's look at example 3. A family member has some $5 bills and $1 bills in her wallet. Altogether, she has 18 bills. So let's write our first equation. Let's call the $5 bills x, and let's call the $1 bills y. So if we said the number of $5 bills plus the number of $1 bills is equal to 18 bills, that would be a good equation. And then altogether she has 18 bills and a total of $62. Okay, so the next one would be this. It's $5 for every $5 bill, plus it's $1 for every $1 bill, and that's equal to a total of $62. So there's my two equations. That's my system. Okay, and then I'm just going to work on eliminating. So I think I'm just going to multiply through by a negative to change one of these y's to a negative, and I think I'll do the top. So I'm going to multiply through by negative 1. That gives me a negative x. Negative 1 times y is a negative y. And a negative 1 times 18 is a negative 18. And now I'm going to put these together. Positive 5x and a negative 1x. That's a positive 4x. The y's go away. They cancel. And then 62 minus 18 is 44. Then I can multiply by reciprocal. And this is going to work out nice. The 4's cancel. X is equal to 44 divided by 4. That is 11. Now I can use that in either equation. I'm going to use that nice, easy top equation. X, which is 11, plus y equals 18. And then subtract 11 from both sides. And we get y equals 7. So x is 7. That means, x is 11. That means 11 $5 bills. And then y is 7, and that is 7 $1 bills. And that gives us a total of 62. All right, looking good. Let's try example 4. A friend bought 2 boxes of pencils and 8 notebooks for school. And it cost him $11. He went back to the store the same day to buy the school supplies for his younger brother. He spent $11.25 on 3 boxes of pencils and 5 notebooks. How much would 7 notebooks cost? All right, so let's write our system of equations. 2 boxes of pencils. I don't know how much each of them costs, so I'm gonna call the boxes of pencils X. So 2x plus 8 notebooks. I don't know how much those cost, so we'll call that y. So that's 8 times y. And then and that total was $11. So there's our first equation. Then he went back to the store and he bought 3 boxes of pencils. So 3x plus 5 notebooks. That's 5y. And that cost him $11.25. So there is our system of equations. Let's get that decimal in there. All right, so it looks like that. And then I'm gonna work to eliminate here, and looks like I'm gonna change the x's. I'm gonna try to eliminate the x's. So I know if I multiply through by a 3 for the top equation, that'll give me 6x, and a 2 on the bottom equation, that will give me 6x. But I need one of these to be negatives. I'm going to make the bottom one a negative so that when I subtract my y's, I'll be able to put those together with a positive number. But it wouldn't matter. You could do it either way. So let's get our new equations. 3 times 2, that's 6x, plus 3 times 8 is 24y, is equal to 3 times 11, that's 33. So there's the top equation. That one's done. And then a negative 2 times 3 is a negative 6x. Negative 2 times 5 is a negative 10y. And that's equal to a negative 2 times 11, 25. That's 2250, and it's negative. Negative 2250. Okay, so then we can put these together. If we smash these together, then what we're going to get is a positive 6 and a negative 6 to cancel out. That's our elimination. A positive 24 and a negative 10 will give us 14y. And then 33 minus 2250 is $10.50. $10.50. So now I can multiply by reciprocal, multiply by 1/14 to isolate the y. And we get y is equal to $10.50 divided by 14. So I'm gonna do that work here with the calculator. $10.50 divided by 14. That's equal to 75 cents. So 0.75. So my notebooks cost 75 cents. I know that because I named the cost of my notebooks y. And so there's 75 cents each. And then if I want to know, the question is, how much would 7 notebooks cost? Well, that's just 75 cents times 7. And I can do that with some column multiplication. This is a 35, carry the 3. 49 and 3 is 52. And 2 decimal places in my problem, 2 decimal places in my answer. $5.25 for 7 notebooks. All right. Let's look at exercise 1. A farm raises cows and chickens. The farmer has a total of 42 animals. Well, let's write some equations. Cows we'll call x. Let's call the chickens, the number of chickens, y. And right away we can say the number of cows plus the number of chickens is equal to 42. He has 42 animals. One day he counts the legs of all of his animals and realizes he has a total of 114. How many cows does the chicken have? Well, cows have 4 legs, so we can say that's 4 times x. And chickens have 2, so that's 2 times y. And that's equal to the total number of legs. What a weird question. Okay, and so there's our system. The nice part is we've got a system, right? And now we can multiply to eliminate. So I'm going to multiply. I'm going to get rid of the y's. I think I'm going to multiply by a negative 2. Negative 2. So negative 2 times x gives us a negative 2x. A negative 2 times y gives us a negative 2y. And a negative 2 times 42 gives us a negative 84. All right, now I can put these 2 equations together. This one's gone now. 4x and a negative 2x, that's a positive 2x. The y's go away. That's our elimination. And that's equal to 114 minus 84, and that is 30. Okay, so then we can multiply by the reciprocal of 2, and we find that x is equal to half of 30, which is 15. That means he has 15 cows. X was our value there, 15 cows. And then I'm going to use this one that I changed, x plus y equals 42, and I'm just going to substitute 15 for the number of cows. So 15 plus y equals 42, and then I'm going to subtract 15 to isolate the y, and that's going to tell me how many chickens. And that means that we have 27 chickens. 15 cows, 27 chickens. Awesome. What a great question. All right. The length of a rectangle is 4 times the width. Okay, the length equals 4 times the width. That's one equation. And then the perimeter of the rectangle is 45. Well, remember, for perimeter is 45. Well, let me make that a 45. But perimeter is 2 lengths plus 2 widths, and that's equal to 45. Okay, so we can, we've got 2 equations. This is our system, but it's not really one that I can quite solve yet. I want to get the lengths and the widths all on the same side, so I'm going to change this first one by subtracting 4w from both sides. So let me do that over here. Length is equal to 4w. I'm going to subtract 4w so that it comes over here on the left side. And when I do that, I get length minus 4w is equal to, well, there's nothing left, so that's a 0. So I'm going to change this into length minus 4w equals 0. Okay, so now if I think of this as my system, now I can multiply through and eliminate. And well, it's I've got some options, but I think multiplying by 2 on the top would eliminate the w's, right? That would give me 4w. The bottom one's negative 4w, so I think that'll work. So let's do that. 2 times 2l, that's 4l. 2 times 2w, that's a positive 4w. And that's going to be equal to 2 times 45, that's 90. So now this one's gone. I've got these 2 equations as my system, and I'm going to smash them together. A positive 1l and a positive 4l, that's a positive 5l. A negative 4w and a positive 4w, those eliminate, and that's equal to 0 plus 90, that's 90. Multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 5. And we get the 5's canceled. Length is equal to 90 divided by 5. 90 divided by 5, I believe is 14. Let me check that just to be sure. 50. No, that's not right. It's not 14. Good thing I checked. 90 divided by 5 is 18. Yeah, of course. 18. All right, so the length is 18. And then I'm going to use this equation. That looks easy. 18, that's the length, is equal to 4 times w. And then if I just multiply by the reciprocal, I will know the width. Okay, so now I can say the 4's cancel. I get w equals 18 fourths, which is 9 halves. So if the width is 9 halves and the length is 18, in order to find the area of the rectangle, I have to multiply length times width. So area is equal to the length, 18, times the width, 9 halves. And I can simplify before I multiply. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 18 9 times. 9 times 9 is 81. So this is 81 square inches. That is the area of that rectangle. All right, very good. That's a good one. Number 3. The sum of the measures of angles x and y is 127. Sum is addition, so x plus y equals 127. If the measure of angle x is 34 more than half the measure of angle y, what is the measure of each angle? So we have another equation here. The measure of angle x is, that's equals 34 more than half the measure of y. Half the measure of y plus 34. Okay, so there's our equation. X equals 1/2 y plus 34. And that's not the same form as my first equation, which was standard form. So I'm going to change that. Let's put it over here so we can change it. X equals. Well, let's use the magic of the iPad. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there it is. X equals 1/2 y plus 34, and I'm just going to subtract the 1/2 y from both sides so that I get it all on one side, and then I would have x minus 1/2 y is equal to 34. Now I have standard form in both cases. X minus 1/2 y equals 34, and there's a system we can work with. So, well, what could we do? Well, I see the x's just one needs to be a positive and one needs to be a negative. So I'm going to multiply by -1 on the bottom. That's going to give me a negative x. -1 times a positive 1/2 or negative 1/2 is a positive 1/2. So that's a positive 1/2 y is equal to -1 times 34 is a negative 34. And so I've changed this equation. Now I can smash them together. X and a negative x, those eliminate. A y and a positive 1/2 y gives me 3/2 y. 2 halves plus 1/2 is 3/2. 3/2 y is equal to 127 minus 34. Well, 127 minus 34, that is something I'm going to put in my calculator. I don't know why I'm not feeling like some mental math. 127 minus 34, that's 93, yeah. Okay, so 93, 3/2 y equals 93. Now I can multiply by the reciprocal of 3/2, which is 2/3. Multiply by 2/3. And the 3's cancel, the 2's cancel. Y is equal to, well, I can simplify here. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 93 31 times. And 31 times 2 is 62. So y is equal to 62. And then that's measure of angle y would be 62. And then if I use this original equation, x plus the measure of angle y was 62 equals 127. I can subtract 62 from both sides to get my x value, which is 65. The measure of angle x is 65. The measure of angle y is 62. All right, that is your lesson for today. I hope that helps. See you again next time.